What's for tea with Tracey? Hope everyone's had a great week. I'm so pleased everyone's back here. Today we are making hearty beef casserole and we're going to be serving it with mashed potatoes. I thought you could do this on the weekend because it takes a little bit longer than most of the recipes that I do. It cooks for an hour and a half in the oven. So maybe this is something that you can do on a Saturday night or a Sunday night, and you just brown everything in the pot on top of the stove and then chuck it in the oven for an hour and a half and have it with mashed potatoes. And today I'm using my new pot. Yay! My other cast iron pot's a bit sad, so I bought a new one. So let's see how it goes today. Okay, so what you need 2 leeks, you need 2 carrots, you need 4 sticks of celery, 1 clove of garlic, 2 onions, two, and kilo of diced beef. I've got 2 packets of 500 grams. We need 2 cans of chopped tomatoes, 1 cup of beef stock, and a 1/4 cup of wine, or just a little smidgen more if you like. So it's really easy to use. All right, so let's get chopping our stuff first. I forgot my oil today, so we're going to be using oil can spray. Carolyn said that would probably do the same job. So you put oil in the thing. I think it should be right. Do you think, Carolyn? I've never used spray before or anything, but oh yeah. So first of all,
I use that when I'm like for cooking and stuff to grease the baking pan. So it should do the same thing.
Well, once it's heated, you would think it would anyways. Right, so we just dice our carrots up. Got 2 carrots here. Kids are back at school, hey? Bet parents are glad about that. Must be really good for the kids to get back to school. I would imagine that they were so happy to see their friends. Mum and dads are probably glad that kids are back as well. So that's really good. Oh, also too, the new Jane Harper novel, we've got it now if you wanted to reserve it. It's now available for borrowing. We just got it in like a couple of weeks ago, didn't we, Carolyn?
I think so.
Now, I've never read Jane Harper, but Carolyn's read her. Is she good?
I love her books.
Now, do you have to read them in sequence or they stand alone novels?
The first 2, so that is, now I've gone blank with the title.
Force of Nature?
Force of Nature is the second one.
The Dry.
The Dry is the first one. Those 2 have the same characters.
So The Dry and Force of Nature.
Yep.
And then Lost Man.
Lost Man has a vague connection to the first 2 books, but it doesn't matter if you haven't read them.
Okay.
And then the others
Would you recommend you read The Dry and Force of Nature together?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Well, I've never read her, so I might give her a go, but I have read another author. You think you've read him? Christian White.
No,
now,
I haven't.
He is brilliant. His first book is called The Nowhere Child. And then the second, and sorry, I'm rabbiting on here. And the second book is called The Wife and the Widow, and it is brilliant. He's an Australian author. I think he lives down the beach somewhere. I can't remember, but yeah, it's really good. So do yourselves a favour and put some coals on that. Okay, so we're doing the carrots now. So 2 of everything. And you just bung it in the oven. Really easy to do. Oops! I think you're starting on the floor. Okay, so we've got our celery. As I said before, I love celery. Love the smell of it. Carolyn makes her sneeze the leaves.
No onion in this one?
Sorry?
No stinky onions in this one?
Yeah, 2 onions.
Oh, I thought you weren't. Oh.
No,
I thought you weren't going to cry today.
I will be crying, don't worry about that. Stay tuned for that. I'll cut them up at the end, so I'm not weepy all the way through the cooking. So what we do is, once we get all the veggies cooked up, we brown them and then we put the meat in and then we bung everything else together. So did you have a good weekend, Carolyn?
I had a lovely weekend.
What did you do? You did some scrapbooking?
I did scrapbooking. I had a virtual album retreat, so all the way from Utah.
Oh my gosh.
So I had to get up at 2 a.m. on Saturday morning and Sunday morning.
God. You're dedicated, that's for sure.
And then it was a Christmas album, so ended up with a completed Christmas album at the end of the weekend. So.
Oh, beautiful. I actually saw it. It's just gorgeous. So clever. How long have you been doing scrapbooking for?
Probably, I don't know, 18, 19 years, something like that.
God, that long?
Mm-hmm.
You might have to talk you into doing a scrapbooking class for us, Carolyn.
Maybe.
Maybe. I could be the camera girl for a change.
You could be.
Try to talk you into it. What do you reckon? I reckon that'd be a
We'll
great
see.
idea. I'm putting her on the spot here.
Okay.
She's going to kill me afterwards. I don't have to do you anymore. Oh, God. Watched any of the DVDs that we have here at the library?
I'm watching Good Behaviour at the moment.
We have that, do we? Yeah.
We do.
You enjoying it?
I am. It's about a woman, she's got out of jail for good behaviour.
Yeah.
I haven't really found out what she did, but she's a bit of a grifter. So she's a bit of a thief, steals things, pickpockets, all sorts of things.
Oh, okay.
And she hit the skids and was a drug addict and went to jail and lost custody of her son.
Of her son, yeah.
So her mum has custody of her son. And so she's trying to get her son back, and then she hooks herself up with this guy who ends up being a hitman.
He's a hitman.
He's a hitman. So it's different.
But good different.
Well,
American
put it
or
this
English?
way. Well, it's American. Put it this way. I watched 9 episodes yesterday.
Oh, you must like it. It must be good. That's a lot
And
of
so I
doing.
put a hold on the second series. So,
What other series did we watch that we liked? Timeless.
yes, that was a good
That
one.
was really good, wasn't it? That they travel through time, don't they, to save world events and stuff to
Yep.
change it. Yeah. Okay.
Sort of like, if you like Quantum Leap,
I love that.
you'd like it, except in this one they've got control over where they travel and they can come back again.
As in Quantum Leap, you don't really have any.
No, Quantum Leap, they go where they go. But it's that sort of thing. So they're going back to historical events and things. So it's a bit of history, bit of sci-fi, bit of adventure.
Bit of everything.
Yep.
Hey? And we have season 1 and season 2,
Yeah,
don't we?
there were only 2 seasons made, so we've got
Oh, they haven't
both.
made any more seasons.
No, it didn't get renewed after the second season.
That's a shame because I watched the first season. I was just going to wash my onion, and it was really good.
It was. I really enjoyed it too.
It was really, really, really good. Do we have Quantum Leap?
I don't know if we still do. We used to.
I love that show. That was really good. And I've been watching The Garage Mysteries. That's really good too. That's all that Hallmark stuff. Have you seen those?
I
Well, you
think
didn't really
I've
like
watched some of those series. Some I liked, some I didn't. Who was the main actress in that one?
Laura,
Is that the
Naughty Girl.
yes.
The what did she pay to
Oh,
have?
One of those, yes, she paid
Actresses.
for. Is it Laurie Loughlin or something like
yeah,
that?
Yeah. Oh, and also she's also in another series that we have here is When Calls the Heart. That is really good. They're all sort of it's set in in the olden days, like in Canada actually. With the mounted police, Canadian mounted police. It's really good.
Oh, speaking of Canada, another series I watched last weekend. It's called Anne with an E.
Is that Anne with an E?
Anne with an E, and it's basically the Anne of Green Gables.
Oh.
So it's a reworking of that.
Is it good?
It was good. She did talk a lot though.
Something I have in common with her. I'm starting to cry now.
I think we've got 2. I think we've got 2 seasons of that as well. So I've only watched the first season.
And you really liked it?
I did. So if you love Anne of Green Gables and that sort of thing, there's Anne with an E.
Very good. And we got all the new movies too. Just recently, like The Invisible Man. I saw that come through. that was
I
at...
haven't watched that one. I've
Yeah.
seen the olden days one, but not this one.
What other new movies? Yeah, so all the new... You'll have to put holes on them. But
When you're searching on the catalogue, when you first go into the catalogue, there's actually a new items button you
is
can
there
push.
really? Oh,
And you
push
can
that?
say what you want,
Like
whether you want the
DVDs.
DVDs or books or junior stuff. So you can click on that
Yeah.
and it'll give you a list of the latest things that have just been added to the catalogue.
Oh, that'll be good.
Oh, poor Tracy's crying.
I'm just going to get my teacher. I'm really upset. No, I'm not.
I shouldn't laugh, but it's
Oh,
funny.
it's funny. You tell me every week to get those onion glasses and I keep forgetting.
Well, maybe you should wear your glasses.
Oh.
You've got them on your head.
Never thought about that.
And then you can see what you're doing too.
Actually,
And now you make me shake the camera.
I really don't need them. I only need them to sort of mainly look at the computer or read, but like...
Well, you can
it
see the
actually
onions
does
better.
a really good job now that I'm cutting up with... thank you, Carol.
There we go. I'm here for all the handy hints.
Yes, you are. I wouldn't even thought about that.
I think I missed some good weather over the weekend when I was locked into the house on Utah time.
Doing all your...
Well, I had all the... Well, because I would start at 2 a.m. and it finished about 11 in the morning, and then I would go to bed.
That's a long time to do scrapbooking. Does it go quick, or do you...
Yeah,
you
it
get
goes...
tired,
Well,
or-
because you're busy, you're doing all the things, sticking this, sponging that, stamping this, doing all sorts of things. So
That's amazing. Now, do we have any... You would know better than anyone. Do we have any books on scrapbooking?
we certainly do.
So if you're interested in getting to look at scrapbooking, put a
And
hold of
then
them.
there's also some magazines on RB Digital as well.
Ah,
I think
yes.
there's magazines in the collection, but there's more
On RB
titles on
Digital?
RB Digital.
That you can have a look at. Yeah, I can't believe that. As I said last week, over 3,000 titles in 18 languages.
Yep,
That's
it's pretty
amazing.
amazing. If only I could read another language.
Yeah. Or you could go to Mango Languages.
I could load one and then
teach
read a
yourself
magazine.
one. There you go. Mango Languages is our streaming service that if you want to learn how to speak a different language, you do that. I've used it before when I was going to Paris. I did speak a little bit of French at high school, but I did Mango Languages and it's really easy to use and really easy to pick up. Not that we can travel at the moment, but if you're just interested in learning another language, Mango Languages. Easy to use. Very user-friendly. Okay, so last but not least is our garlic. And then we're going to turn the gas on and we are going to, fry everything up. And hopefully that all will work. I think it should be all right, Carolyn, don't you?
Yeah, well, because it's not like you're deep frying. You're really just doing it so that things don't stick to the pot.
Yeah, well that's exactly right. Okay, my garlic's all cut up. Chuck this in. We're lucky girls today, lovey. So as I said earlier, we preheat the oven to 180 degrees. So we just ran everything off in the pot and then we add all the other ingredients in. We do the beef as well. Okay, Carolyn, come on. Oh, look, it works. Look at this.
Of course it works. It's just oil.
Oh,
So you get a nice coating of oil, but you don't have too much.
yeah, it's just perfect.
I used some last night when I cooked my schnitzel.
Ah, perfect. Very good. Oh, that's good. So what other good books are you reading we can tell our borrowers about?
So many.
You're into the Australian authors at the
I
moment,
am.
aren't you? There's Sarah Barry.
Sarah Barry, I still haven't finished the third book in the Hunter's
I've
Ridge
just started the
series.
first one. Oh my God, it's amazing.
So good.
Absolutely amazing.
So it's not your usual Australian rural romance, although there is a rural romance in there. There's a bit of suspense and a serial killer as well. So
Perfect. I might add a little bit of butter. Oh no,
you don't need it.
no.
You're going to put the liquid in soon, aren't you?
I'm going to put the beef in soon.
There we go. So you're not frying, you're just heating.
Yeah, it's just browning. And once I put the beef in the liquid from that,
Exactly. You'll get the fat from the beef.
So what I'll do is now put the casserole beef in. I'm just using 500 grams of They're both different because I had them in the freezer. One's diced beef and one's diced casserole beef. It all comes out in the wash.
Beef is beef.
Beef is beef. This has probably got more fat in it, so it has more flavour. So if you want to, maybe use casserole steak as well as diced beef, 500 grams of beef, it's up to you.
The other hint I saw, it was in, I'm not sure where I saw it, probably on Facebook, that at Woolies, and I don't know, I would assume Coles does it too, have a good look around the meat section, because there will often be a container like that and it will just be scraps. So it'll be the end pieces there'll be lamb or beef, whatever they've been cutting up, and they're really great for putting in like soups and things. And they're cheap. Really cheap? Really cheap. You get like a kilo for probably $4 or $5.
Gee, that is cheap.
Yeah. But it's you're not getting the
the premium stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
but it's meat and bones. Although the other day I saw one, it was a lamb one, and it basically had a whole lamb chop in it.
Oh, really?
So
there you go.
Probably just didn't cut straight enough for, to go in the proper tray. But so that's a
handy hint for people at home.
A handy money-saving hint.
Money-saving hint. I'll get Carolyn to come on over so you can have a look how the beef is browning. So it's going to take about 5 to 10 minutes, I suppose. See how it's just starting to brown. What a nice pot, eh?
Beautiful pot.
Beautiful pot. All right, we might take a bit of a break and come back after we brown it, and then we'll have a look at what it looks. So we'll see you back in about a television show after the break. Okay, so it's been cooking now. I just put the lid on it for about a couple of minutes. If Carolyn wants to come on over, and you can see how it's looking. See how it's created a liquid down the bottom as well. I'll just stand back so you can see that. Juices from the meat. Okay, so we're ready to add our other ingredients in now. Okay, so we have 2 cans of diced tomatoes. Stir that through. Now, when you first put it in the oven, you put it in the oven covered for an hour, and for the last half an hour of cooking, you take the lid off and put it in the oven uncovered for half an hour for the last part of cooking. So it cooks for an hour and a half. Okay, we have 1 cup of beef stock. So I've only got half a cup here, so I'll put in 2. Any beef stock will do.
What if you don't have any stock? Would water work?
No, because you need the beef flavour from the thing. What you could do is, if you don't have any beef stock, do a couple of stock cubes in water. Or Bonox in water, or
Vegemite?
Vegemite as well. Yeah, you just need the beef flavour. Okay, so I'll get Carolyn to come on over so she can have a look. Looks good. And last but not least, 1/4 cup of red wine. Where did I put my cups? Honey for the cups.
You could just slurp it.
Here we go. 1/4 cup of red wine. I use the old Shirazis got this from Coles, $4 or $5 I think. Keep it in the cupboard. There we go. Slurp! And here we go. So, it smells good, doesn't it?
It smells very nice.
Oh,
something's starting to rumble.
All right, so what we'll do is we'll cover that, put that in the oven for an hour and a half. So you cover it and you cook it for an hour, and then after half an hour, you take the lid off and cook it for another half an hour. And today we will be eating it with mashed potatoes. I'll put that lid on. So what we'll do is, in an hour's time, I'll just come back here. In an hour's time, we'll come back, I'll bring it out of the oven, and we'll give it a stir so you can have a look at it, and then we'll take the lid off, and then we'll cook it uncovered. And then for the last half an hour of cooking, just put your mashed put your spuds on, mash them so they're ready to go. Okay, we'll see you back in an hour's time. Okay, we're just going to mash our mashed potatoes now. They've just come off the microwave. So we'll mash those, and then what we'll do, we'll get our casserole out of our oven. Okay, so put about a tablespoon of butter in there. And then some milk, just by feel, just like that. And if you need to add more milk as you're mashing, you can just do that. I'll do it with my next knife. The mashed spud, like I said last week, you can hold it up and it doesn't fall out. So that's, in my opinion, that's a perfect mashed spud. Okay, we'll put this over down here for a minute. Now the piece of resistance, our hearty beef stew. That's been cooking for an hour and a half, but uncovered for the last half an hour. Oh, whew. All right, Carolyn wants to come over. Now this is what it looks like before I stir it. And here we go. How does that look? See how it's not as watery? What do you think, Carolyn?
It's pretty good.
And that will be a lot for leftovers. And we'll serve that with mashed potato. So I'll get our plate. And here we go. We'll put some mashed spud on here so it can soak up all the juices. Get out of here. Carolyn wants to come over and have a look. And that is what's for tea with Tracey today. Join me next week at 5 o'clock on Thursday, and we will be making Karen's apricot chicken. Have a lovely week. Enjoy the weather. Hope it's beautiful over the weekend, and I will see everyone next week. Bye.